Francis Ngannou is going to be making his big return to boxing this weekend, taking on Anthony Joshua after he just come off that very close split decision loss in a performance of a lifetime against none other than Tyson Fury. A fight which happened 4 months ago, and a fight which, when it happened, a lot of people had very mixed opinions. A lot of people thought Ngannou won. A lot of people loved the fight. A lot of people thought that maybe Francis Ngannou was going to come into heavyweight and really shake up the division. And he's been given another opportunity to do that again here, because if he does defeat Anthony Joshua, that probably would shake up the division quite a lot. But I will be honest, I'm not really seeing that many people talk about this fight, especially when you consider the magnitude of it. Anthony Joshua is a massive boxer. Francis Ngannou come into boxing and shocked the world only 4 months ago. And maybe I've just followed the wrong people on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm just not seeing people really talking about this fight as much as I would have expected them to. Even on YouTube, I'm not seeing that many people talk about this fight. So I'm going to talk about it here, give my prediction, give my thoughts on it, and also just talk about the card at the very end of the video. I think this is a fantastic card, especially for people that are in the know with boxing. I am going to put it out there and say I'm not really so much in the know of boxing, but I am a fan of boxing, and I would almost call myself just more of a casual viewer. I watch all of the big fights, but I don't watch every single fight. I don't watch every single card. I feel like a lot of people are like that, but I did want to put that disclaimer out there for when I do the breakdown of the fight. Maybe Ngannou as well isn't as big as we expected. He sold 70,000 pay-per-views in the USA, which is a pretty low number. But hey, let's see how this one goes. It was a little bit of a flop when he took on Fury, but let's see how he can do against Anthony Joshua in this matchup here. I think in some ways this fight is better for Ngannou, but I also think in some ways it's worse for Ngannou. And the ways that I think it could be a little bit better is Anthony Joshua, he's just not as big as Tyson Fury. You know, Tyson Fury was a mountain of a man. He's huge, and he uses his size quite well. He uses his size a lot in the clinch. He was kind of trying to clinch and cuddle up with Ngannou quite a lot in their matchup, and just try and wear on Ngannou throughout the fight. I don't see Anthony Joshua doing that in the matchup. And another thing is I see Anthony Joshua trying to fight this fight from range. And we saw Ngannou surprisingly have a lot of success from range in his matchup with Tyson Fury. I was very surprised at how good his boxing skill was, Ngannou's that is, because I expected him to come out there against Tyson Fury and just try and throw hooks and try and knock him out. But he actually looked like a very good world-class, world-level boxer against Tyson Fury, and it was very surprising. It was very, very impressive what he was able to do in that matchup. But against Anthony Joshua, again, I do want to kind of bring up the fact that a lot of people think Fury didn't take the matchup that seriously, and if you look at him at weigh-ins, you can kind of see that, because it looked like Tyson Fury had a lot more of a belly on him than we're kind of used to seeing. I think he was fresh off coming off that TV show that he was filming. I guess there was kind of a lot going on where it's with Ngannou, like this was his moment, you know, this was the moment that changed his life. He's going to be training hard every single day, whereas with Fury, he's like, taking on a guy making his debut, it is what it is, we'll see how it goes. And we saw how it went. And Ngannou looks really good. But I feel like Anthony Joshua is going to take this matchup a lot more seriously than Tyson Fury. I also think that Anthony Joshua is coming off one of the better performances in recent of his career, when he just beat Otto Wallin only 2 months ago, so a pretty quick turnaround for him. But before that, you know, he looked pretty tentative against Jermaine Franklin after he lost a couple fights to Usyk. And then also against Helenius, he did get the KO, and he looked good, but Helenius took that fight on days' notice, and even then we did see some tentativeness out of Joshua. Maybe we see that again, because he's going to be put in there against a very, very powerful puncher, a guy that hits hard, a guy that hits so hard he put down Tyson Fury. And, you know, just putting down Tyson Fury is impressive, because that means that he had to be able to get in there and hit Tyson Fury. He was able to, get past the defense of Fury, was able to trick Fury into getting hit with a massive shot, and he set him down in Ngannou. But I think this fight is going to take place more so from range. I think there will be a little bit less clinching. In fact, I think if there is any clinching, it probably might be Ngannou kind of initiating that, especially to wear down AJ early. I think AJ is going to be working well from range. I think he's going to be a lot more athletic as well. I think he's going to be faster. I think he's going to be a little bit more defensively sound. And I think he should be able to outpoint Francis Ngannou for the fight. It is worth noting that Ngannou's cardio looked really good against Fury. It looked a lot better than I expected. I thought Ngannou was going to start to slow down, and he didn't. So let's see how that goes. But I do see AJ just outpointing Francis Ngannou in this one here, just being the better boxer, in my opinion. Although I know that a lot of people will see the Fury fight and think, how can you say that when Ngannou just beat Fury? I do think that AJ is still the better boxer in this matchup, and I think that ultimately is going to be why I can see Anthony Joshua getting a victory in this one here. Can Francis Ngannou knock him out? Yeah, he could. And honestly, I would be a lot less surprised if he knocked him out after seeing the Fury fight. I also feel like there's more pressure on Ngannou as well, because with Ngannou, when he took on Tyson Fury, there was no pressure to perform. Everyone didn't expect him to look that good. A lot of people expected him to lose. And then he fought Fury with no pressure. But now he's kind of got a bit of pressure for two things. He's got the pressure of expectation. A lot of people are going to expect to see a very similar to the same performance as we saw in the Fury fight. And also the pressure of maybe just how his boxing career can play out from here. Because if Francis Ngannou can beat Anthony Joshua, you're looking at massive fights from there on out. But if he loses to Anthony Joshua, it's no longer going to be the headliners at Saudi Arabia. It's going to be the, hey, Derek Chisora, did you want to fight Ngannou? Or, hey, Otto Wallen, do you want to get a bounce back fight against Ngannou? Or it's even going to be Robert Helenius, do you want a payday? You know, we want to get Ngannou a KO win. It's just not going to be the money fights anymore. But if he beats Anthony Joshua, it opens up the path to big fights like maybe the Big Bang, Zhilei Zhang. It might even open up a Joe Joyce fight, even though I don't think that's as big of a name as they would look. Maybe even a Parker fight. Maybe a fight against Deontay Wilder. A win here would do absolute wonders for Ngannou. A loss here would probably make him have to fight that PFL fight, which I don't think he wants to do. If you guys don't know, he is contractually obligated to the PFL for a lot of things. I believe he's overseeing PFL Africa, which is going to come out soon. He's also signed as an MMA fighter and actually has to fight against Ferreira, the guy that knocked out Ryan Bader. How do I not know his name in the moment? For Renan Ferreira, and Ngannou left the arena, I believe, before Ferreira even got to do his interview. So that you can kind of tell from that I don't think Ngannou's that interested in even fighting Ferreira. So there's the trying to get out of the PFL obligations, potentially, because if he beats AJ, the PFL are going to say, oh, just keep going, you know? But if he loses to AJ, I feel like the PFL are going to say, hey, Ngannou, we let you fight Fury, we let you fight AJ, come on back to the PFL, we need you to fight against Renan Ferreira, and Ngannou's going to be like, oh, okay. Anyway, I think there's a bit of that too. I'm picking AJ by decision. A lot of people on Tapology are picking Ngannou. Notably, only 300 Tapology picks as well. That's crazy. Look at UFC 299. Why do people not care about this fight, man? This is a massive fight. No one's talking about it. I look at the main event. Picks 1,200. 4 times as many have picked the UFC 299 main event. I guess Tapology is an MMA website, obviously, but still, that's crazy. I want to talk about the co-main event real quick. I don't want this video to go for 20 minutes, but I'm a fan of Joseph Parker. I do like Joseph Parker. My coach, actually, when I was boxing, coached Joseph Parker for a short period of time a few years ago, which was kind of awesome. Dude, Zhilei Zhang's just so good. He just knocked out Joe Joyce twice, man. And Joe Joyce is known for having a granite chin. Joe Joyce isn't known for having great defense, to be fair. He is known for getting cracked. But Zhang just KO'd him. I know that Zhang's almost 41 years old, but this man is just built different, I guess. And then Joey Parker, he took on Joe Joyce, and that was his last loss. And Joey Parker, I remember quite vividly, he landed... This is Joseph Parker, by the way. Landed a flush left hook. A flush left hook with all of his power. Maybe it was an overhand. But the point is, it was an overhand flush on Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce just kept moving forward. And that's the power that the Big Bang Zhang has, you know. But the thing about the Big Bang Zhang is he does slow down. You know, if we can get... How long is this fight? 12 rounds? It is 12 rounds. I thought so. If we can get out of the 6th round, the Big Bang Zhang is going to slow down, and maybe then Joseph Parker will be able to put the pace on him. Joseph Parker is, of course, trained by... He's coached by a good coach. I forgot his name. And he does gonna have a good game plan for Zhili Zhang, but I think Zhang's too big for him, man. I think Zhang's too powerful. I think Zhang's gonna knock him out. I'm sorry, Parker. I love Parker, to be honest, but I just gotta do it, man. He just beat Wilder, which was a cool fight. Didn't really get hurt in that fight, but Wilder looked really bad, I'll be honest. Simon Keane, within the first 60 seconds of that fight, I was like, okay, Parker's gonna knock this guy out, because Simon Keane... Got to be careful. I'm just going to say it. Simon Keane looked terrible. So, of course, Parker knocked him out. And then Figo Apelo knocked him out in the first round pretty easily. Apelo's like a regional level guy. And then I don't know about that fight. I didn't watch it. But anyway, I think Zhang knocks him out. And then we go down. I'm going to skip these guys. I do know who Nicky Ball is, of course. But I don't feel confident enough to give a prediction on that one. But of course, I do know who Justice Huni is. I'm a big fan of Justice Huni. I'm a believer in Justice Huni. And I do believe he's going to be able to get this one done here over Kevin Lerena. One thing I've noticed about Kevin Lerena, and this could be a stinker of a take, as I said, because I am a casual boxing fan. I'll admit that. This could be a stinker of a take. But his fight against Daniel Dubois... He knocked down Daniel Dubois like 3 times in the first round, and then he gassed out. Like, does he have really bad cardio? I think Justice Huni's going to be too good to survive the first 2 rounds. I think he's going to put a bit of a pace on him later on. I think he's going to keep going. Huni's got a great amateur career as well. I don't think he's an Olympian. Was he an Olympian? I might skip that part. But the point is, I know Huni has a very experienced amateur career. He's beat some pretty good guys already. This probably will be his toughest test of his career. But I do think he gets past it, man. I do think he is going to be able to beat the former fighter that fought Daniel Dubois, which would have been nuts for the world title, I believe, as well. And almost knocked him out. I think he gets past him, though. I think he beats Lerena. Let me know what you think in the comments below about Joshua Ngannou, Zhang Parker, any of the fights, really, to be honest. I feel like... there's probably not too many people that are super hyped for the first 2 prelims of the night. But, Roman Fury. He's related to Tyson Fury, isn't he? Am I correct in saying that? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.